Imperial Guard and Necrons vs Orks 3000 points. It started when Steve the Human showed up on the night watch. Commissar Jenkins had not been seen for a while, but Steve the Human was an okay guy. Jenkins was a tool. Commissar Jenkins had executed Steve the Human the night before for heresy, and him coming back clearly meant he was a saint for his unit. Steve the Human told them the Orks were going to flank after he got lost taking a letter P, as all fleshbags do with letters. He had stumbled across their camp and spotted the surprise flank being positioned. He said he had some normal Mechanicus-sanctioned murder robots that were his friends that could help. This was well received. Several hours later, as the guardsmen crept up in the night, a flare was launched over their dune. An Ork stomper opened fire and hammered most of the full unit of flayed ones. Steve the Human remained standing, much to the guardsmen's relief. He was such a nice guy. The veterans hunkered down in place, losing a few to stray fire and rounds that were incoming. A green tide that stretched as far as the eye could see in the dark came surging forward. Killer Khans stomped forward with a deft dread, and a battle wagon rocked forward. The stomper suffered some critical engine failure and had to remain stationary. The lone Lemon Rust battle tank kicked on its spotlight and turned it towards the Killer Khans, but some obstructing crates foiled its shot, crippling just one of them. The guardsmen returned fire as well, picking off odd targets while their Rough Riders carefully got into striking position. Their new Mechanicus allies seemed to be struggling. Most of the not flayed ones stayed dead, the not Canoptech Doomstalkers completely failed to hit the Killer Khans, and the not Necron warriors failed to do anything except die and stay dead as well. Steve the Human's friends must be some form of new experimental prototype. The not flayed ones were able to obliterate some Ork commandos though. Daylight fully settled in the valley, and the guardsmen realized that maybe Steve the Human was friends with Tech Heresy, but the battle was already too far pitched to try and ask him. Also, Steve the Human was getting pummeled by the stomper again, but he got up with a few of his friends. The Ork boys then charged, led by their war boss. Again, Steve the Human went down, but he got better. The rest of the gun line was strafed with intense Daka fire. Multiple rockets hit the not Canoptech Doomstalkers again, knocking one over despite its advanced shielding. A unit of guardsmen were charged, but the commissar cut down the knob boss in a duel and the sergeant slew several with his chainsword. They held the line. The guardsmen rallied to Steve the Human's resilience, pouring intense last fire into the Orks. Many of them were cut down by the intense and accurate last fire that proved their marksmanship. The commissar and sergeant missed with their pistols, but cut down several more Orks before they had a chance to fight back. The company command squad and platoon command squad charged into the fight, but completely failed to kill more than a single Ork. The Rough Riders roared in on their motorbikes on both flanks. The west flank saw a sad assortment of grots get burned to a crisp by flamers and improvised claymore mines on a stick. The ones on the east started laying plasma and last fire into some Orks that had not got to the battle line yet. Steve the Human was cut down again, after killing some Orks, but he stood up again. Trazen was slain, but the war boss was wounded. Sadly, this is where we had to stop for time restraints and bad weather. Most important takeaways from this game was that Steve the Human is a friend of the guard and that not a single Ork unit felt bad. We are really excited that the reboot of the original Ork Codex performed so well and are eager to play test more. I hope you all been good it'll grots this year. For your information, each time Trazen dies, he can steal a host Necron body nearby on a 2+. Unless you are Alex.